Republican Senate candidate has entered the race today, challenging incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin. Rajani Ravindran, a 40-year-old college student and chair of college Republicans at UW-Stevens Point, has never run for office in the state. This comes after several other higher-profile Republicans, like U.S. Representatives Mike Gallagher and Tom Tiffany, both declined to run against Baldwin. According to campaign material, Ravindran is a single mother with 3 children who was motivated to run after visiting Washington earlier this spring. Her campaign flyer said if elected, she will push to eliminate illegal immigration, fight against the woke agenda and the war in Ukraine, and push for congressional term limits.